911, address of emergency.
And we're getting robbed, and the guy told me to call the police.
And what kind of gun does he have?
It's a regular Tuesday afternoon in Dubai, 2003. The sun is blazing outside the Wafi Mall, one of the most luxurious shopping centers in the entire Middle East. People are browsing, laughing, buying things they don't need. And then, a car crashes through the front entrance of the mall. Sound of glass shattering, screams. Not one car, 3 cars reversing at full speed directly into a jewelry store called Graf Diamonds. In broad daylight, in front of hundreds of people. Within 4 minutes, they were gone. And so were $3.4 million worth of jewelry. Interpol called them the most sophisticated jewel theft network the world has ever seen. Operating across 35 countries, pulling off over 380 heists, stealing more than $500 million worth of diamonds and jewelry. And somehow, almost every single one of them escaped. This is their story, step by step. How they planned it, how they executed it, and how they became ghosts. To understand the Pink Panthers, you have to go back to the 1990s, to a small country in the Balkans that most people couldn't find on a map, Yugoslavia. Now, Yugoslavia doesn't exist anymore. It collapsed violently. What followed was one of the most brutal civil wars Europe had seen since World War II. Whole cities destroyed, entire economies wiped out overnight. And when the war ended, what was left? Young men. Men who had been soldiers, trained to move fast, stay calm under pressure, and work as a team. Men who had watched everything around them fall apart and had nothing left to lose. Most people assume the Pink Panthers were some kind of organized crime empire from the start, a boss, a hierarchy, a code. They weren't. They were, and this is what makes them so fascinating, completely decentralized. Interpol gave them the name Pink Panthers after the famous film franchise about a bumbling detective chasing jewel thieves. A bit ironic, because these thieves were anything but bumbling. In reality, the Pink Panthers were a loose network, small crews, usually 3 to 6 people, mostly from Serbia, Montenegro, and Bosnia. They didn't report to one boss. They shared skills, shared contacts, shared techniques, and then they went to work. Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting, because the Pink Panthers didn't just show up and smash windows. Every single heist, every single one, was weeks, sometimes months in the making. Step 1, target selection. First, they chose their targets very carefully. They weren't interested in small-time jewelry shops. They went for the biggest names: Graf Diamonds, Harry Winston, Cartier, Chopard, stores with millions of dollars worth of stock sitting in glass cases. Why those stores? Because high-end jewelry stores, unlike banks, are not built like fortresses. The whole point of a luxury store is that it looks beautiful, open, welcoming. The glass is there so you can see the product, and that was their way in. Step 2, reconnaissance. This part is almost unbelievable. Weeks before any heist, members of the crew would visit the target store, but not looking like criminals, looking like customers. Sometimes they'd send a woman in, glamorously dressed, speaking French or English, to browse jewelry, ask to try on pieces. While she did that, she was counting guards, noting camera positions, memorizing the layout. Other times, someone would photograph the exterior, the side streets, the CCTV angles. They'd study which way traffic moved, how long it would take to drive from the store to the nearest motorway. They weren't just planning a robbery, they were planning an escape route that had already been driven multiple times before the heist even happened. Step 3, the getaway vehicles. Here's something that sets them apart from almost every other robbery crew in history. The Pink Panthers almost never used stolen cars for the actual heist. Stolen cars get flagged fast. They used registered vehicles, bought under false identities specifically for each job. After the heist, those cars were burned or crushed. No trace, no evidence. Step 4, disguises and identity. The level of identity management these people operated at was extraordinary. Fake passports from multiple countries, multiple mobile phones, each bought under a different name. They rarely communicated digitally before a job. Most coordination happened face-to-face. Some crew members had lived in Western Europe for years, had real social lives, neighbors who knew them as normal, quiet people. Nobody suspected a thing. Part 4. The execution. All right, the crew has done everything. Weeks of preparation. They know the store, they know the guards, they've driven the escape route so many times they could do it blindfolded. Pause. Now comes the part that people just cannot believe when they see the CCTV footage for the first time. The Dubai Wafi Mall heist, 2003. The crew picked Graf Diamonds in Wafi Mall, one of the most high-end jewelry stores in the Gulf. On the morning of the heist, the crew arrived separately. They blended in. They were dressed normally. And then, at a pre-agreed signal, 3 cars reversed at full speed directly into the mall entrance, glass and debris exploding everywhere, people scattering and screaming, and through all of that chaos, the crew walked calmly straight to the jewelry cases. Sledgehammers, cases shattered in seconds. No unnecessary aggression, no shooting, no one was hurt, just fast, precise, devastating execution. Beat. 4 minutes and 20 seconds. That's how long the whole thing took, from the first car hitting the glass to the last crew member disappearing into the getaway vehicle. $3.4 million in diamonds. Gone. But if Dubai was impressive, London in 2009 was something else entirely. 2 men walked into the Graf Diamonds flagship store on New Bond Street, one of the most exclusive streets in the world. Impeccably dressed, they looked like they belonged there, the kind of clients who buy a £200,000 watch without blinking. And then one of them pulled out a gun. They made the staff lie on the floor, collected 43 items of jewelry, including pieces belonging to some of the most powerful people on the planet, walked out, got into a waiting car, and vanished into London traffic. Total value? £40 million. The largest jewelry robbery in British history. £40 million. Now here's the part that makes investigators lose their minds. After a heist, they don't run to one place, they scatter. Each crew member goes a different direction, different transport, different country. Some flew commercial flights, business class, calm as anything. Others drove across borders with clean documents. The jewelry left the country hidden inside everyday objects, concealed in hair conditioner, sewn into car seat cushions, stuffed inside hollowed-out books. You know how Interpol first landed on the name Pink Panthers? In a 1999 London heist, a woman being questioned had a diamond ring hidden inside a jar of face cream. An investigator said it reminded him of a scene from the original Pink Panther film, and the name just stuck. The stolen jewelry was almost impossible to trace. Diamonds were reset, stones separated from their settings, sold through underground networks across Eastern Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. And when crew members were arrested, they said nothing. Absolute silence. Some escaped from prison. In 2013, two Pink Panthers members broke out of a maximum security Swiss prison in broad daylight. A helicopter hovered over the exercise yard. A rope dropped down. They grabbed it, and they were gone in 90 seconds. 90 seconds. By 2010, Interpol had created an entire dedicated task force just for the Pink Panthers, a joint operation involving police from over 30 countries. They called it Operation Pandora. And they did make arrests. Dozens of suspected members were caught over the years. Some are in prison today. But here's the thing about a decentralized network. You can cut off one branch, and the tree keeps growing. Because there is no head, there is no boss to arrest who shuts down the whole operation. Every crew is its own unit. Every heist is independently planned. So even as Interpol arrested people, new crews were forming, new heists were being planned. There's a quote from an Interpol investigator that stayed with me. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, "Catching the Pink Panthers is like trying to hold water in your hand. You grab it tight, and it just slips through." So where are they now? Honestly, nobody knows. And that, in a way, is the most fitting ending to a story like this. Some are in prison. Some are believed to have retired somewhere in the Balkans, living quietly, no trace of where the money went. Some are almost certainly still active, planning their next job in some city you'd never guess. The total figure across all confirmed Pink Panthers heists, Interpol estimates more than $500 million, and that's only the heists they know about. These weren't people born into wealth or privilege. They came from a broken country after a broken war with nothing, and somehow they pulled off the most audacious jewelry theft operation in modern history, right under the noses of Interpol, Scotland Yard, and dozens of national police forces. Whether you see them as criminals or something more complicated than that, you cannot deny one thing. The Pink Panthers are the greatest jewel thieves who ever lived. If you made it this far, thank you. If you want more stories like this, subscribe. Next video, we're going somewhere even darker. Until then, stay curious.